Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 390, Kabbalah by Colville, The Harmony of Opposites, actually, is the subtitle. Link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. It's 127 pages, so it's an intermediate read. Second and third links are to my books blogs. I do have a couple of other works that touch on Judaism and Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah being that system itself, as well as about, I think, a half a dozen or so that I've already completed and are available. Mostly, I think there's a couple in the folklore category, and I think the rest are under the religion and spirituality header on those books blogs. By the way, you should definitely take a look through because there's hundreds and hundreds of works available. Over 400 when you count the ones I have authored, by the way. Anyway, Colville, it should be noted, first and foremost, while interested in Jewish mysticism, in Kabbalah, really would be more like Eliphas Levi or something. He was a theosophist, first and foremost, interested in Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, and stuff, and so Kabbalah happens to form a component of his mystic study. That being said, despite the fact that he's not a purist in that sense and has these other mystic leanings in mind, which are more strictly Western world, European diaspora, the Occidental realm as opposed to the Near East, it is a proper explanation of the basics of Kabbalah. So you have an explanation of the meaning of the Tree of Life, the different sort of symbols there, the Hebraic alphabet. Its overlap, actually, with the numeric system, the meaning of the numeric system. It even touches briefly on 666 and explains, of course, that the number, the pure symbol itself, means nothing. The actual meaning of that is within Kabbalah. It's a derivation that forms the initials of a name, or it forms a word. It depends, kind of, how you analyze it. There are I can't remember exactly how many forms of gematria, by the way, there are. I think I read that there were like a dozen of them. So I don't know. It depends on which one you use. I guess you can pick and choose who Satan is, or the Antichrist, rather, if you believe in these things. Anyway, Kabbalah is an interesting field of study. You have to understand, though, that Jewish mysticism tends to be extreme in the degree of legalism and analysis with regards to linguistics and or numerics. That's the backbone of the whole concept. It's sort of an as above, so below statement. It's like, hey, look, we've got this alphabet and, it coincides, basically with spiritual figures, and these have different meanings, and there's a lot of symbolism in it. It's not the kind of practice that you wouldn't want, you probably wouldn't be interested in this if you're like basically a Wiccan or something. It would be it's too complex and it's too symbolic and there's too much the study of basically math and language involved. It's that kind of wizardry aspect to it that I think prevents a lot of people from getting deeper into it. It's not like, hey, I got my cauldron and a bunch of herbs. It's not that more simplistic, hands-on and or do-it-yourself kind of thing. It's more legalistic, or can be. And the rabbinical opinions with regards to aspects of Judaism and its mysticism and everything associated with it, of course, are extremely diverse. So pick and choose, effectively. Seems that the debate is sometimes given a higher spiritual weight than the outcome of the debate, if that makes any sense. Very, very good work. I've got a couple other works by Colville that I'm editing. This one is one of the best. Again, though, if you're looking for a puristic take, like from someone who's actually a mystic Judaist, this wouldn't be the work for you. This is a slight reinterpretation of some aspects of Kabbalah, but it is puristic in the basic form. So the numbers, the language, what the Tree of Life means, these different, the name of God, etc. These things there's no real opinion or analysis to be had, at least not in the strict sense. On that, it's puristic. Beyond that, it's going off into other forms of mysticism, especially, again, Rosicrucian and Freemason symbolism and lore. So again, link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. It is highly recommended if you're into Kabbalah at all. Second and third links are to my books blogs. There are plenty of other mystic titles available, not just from Judaism. There's probably 100 works on mysticism scattered throughout the different categories depending on the subtopic involved. Of course, it could be technically folkloric. It could be a very dry academic work, goes under that header. Or it could be strictly a spiritual manifesto. That's about all. Peace out.